Coach, did you get some opening comments on the victory tonight?
Yeah, good win, good team win. Obviously, that's a good football team we played, and you saw that especially in the first half. I thought offensively we missed a couple hookups with our wide receivers and Bart in the first half. But the drive right there at the end of the half to take the lead, to get to 10-7, I think was huge. Create a lot of momentum for our offense, and then came out the second half, and I think our conditioning, our strength and conditioning, a lot of the work that our team has put in throughout the course of the summer, and our depth showed up, especially in the fourth quarter. We were really dominating line of scrimmage. Shantez and Jack were really effective in the run game. We were killing a lot of clock. So. Our defense was dynamic. Besides the one, we had a personal foul on a late hit, which gave them a first down. They had a quarterback run. Besides one drive, we continued to stop the run, really harass the quarterback. Didn't have much going. They ran a wheel route. I thought Isaiah. That was a really difficult play. He had that guy on that wheel route. Man, I've been a linebacker coach. That was tough to get him down, line up and play, get the stop was huge there. So. Defense was phenomenal, and special teams, some high points. I thought our coverage units were really good. Obviously, with a new punt returner, Nick Dotson, we've got to get some things cleaned up. That was a costly turnover, but our defense responded with a 3-and-out, and we had a high snap. That was a really bad missed extra point because I could have took him to a 3-score game, and it was still stuck at a 2-score game. But that was a hard-fought, victory just from the standpoint it's a physical team. It's a team that's going to win a lot of games this year, I believe, and great job by our guys, offense, defense, coaches, and players coming together and playing. Even when we were down, we never questioned anything. We just kept playing.
Shantez, with this being your first game at Lever Stadium, how was the atmosphere?
It was definitely beautiful. Playing in a full stadium was definitely amazing. Seeing my family here, just having another opportunity to play football again was just great. It was a great atmosphere.
Isaiah, what was the importance of when you guys got Indy, deep in their own territory, pinned back against their own end zone many times against the game? How important was it to keep them back there and force a good field position for your offense?
Field position's key, especially for our offense. Whenever we have good field position, we have a number of plays and things that we can run. As long as the defense gaps out and everybody doing their job, it's pretty much just know where they can go.
Shantez, offensive line-wise, they really took over the second half. Those flare passes in the first half really kind of worked out, weighed on their defensive line. Second half, offensive line just dominated. Just talk a little bit about what they did up front.
In the first half, I feel like as the backs, we were kind of pressing, weren't really, we was pretty much getting into the flow of the game. We came out in the second half with a completely different mentality, just run downhill on them. And the offensive line started to dominate. And once we got the rhythm going, it was hard to stop. So,
Isaiah, a sudden change. We had a fumble. Talk about the mentality of the defense and the sudden change. You guys thwarted all those opportunities.
Yeah, it's nothing we haven't seen before. We practice everything in practice. So, defense comes out, we always got juice. As long as we come out and gap out, there's nowhere the offense can go. We can focus on sticking out with Keller. We always got one person on the quarterback. Go from there.
Was that a focus, stopping? Obviously, they had over 380 yards rushing last year. They're held to 106 this year. Was that a focus going into this game?
I wouldn't necessarily say stopping Alvin Keller, but we knew he was going to be the starter. So, just stopping the run was our main focus.
Coach, so you mentioned the kind of mistakes that you made in last year's game against Indy and then how you limited those this year. You guys only had 3 penalties for 27 yards total. What else did you guys do you think that showed the discipline you've seen?
Well, I think we worked on that a lot in camp. We tried to eliminate the pre-snap, post-snap penalties. I think we had the one false start and then the one personal foul. But other than that, I thought we played really clean football. So, and really, to be honest with you, I think what we saw here tonight is kind of the way our team had been practiced the entire camp. I think we had really clean football play on offense and defense. There wasn't a lot of pre-snap penalties really throughout the course of fall camp, and our guys played clean football. We didn't have a lot of stupid stuff we were doing after the whistle, and I thought our guys played. So what I saw out there tonight was probably more of a reflection of the way we've practiced and the way we've approached things as a unit throughout the course of preseason camp.
Talk about that defensive line. You're able to rotate 8-10 bodies up there, and they really dominated the entire game.
Yeah, I think that's key, and like I said, Shantez came in here in January and Dave Dawson, but we added some transfers, within our front. And those have been big pickups, to be honest with you. Chris Hendricks, I thought, did great today. Curl Vaughn, Kawani Figueroa. We had Tyree Horton was rotating a linebacker, and so specifically on the defensive line, we have 4 defensive ends we think could play at a really high level, and we feel like we have 4 or 5 kids inside that could play at a high level. So we were committed to rotating those guys tonight, and we did some rotations at linebacker, to try to keep guys, and we did a really good job, I think, trying to keep some key players off special teams, and I think all of that stuff really started to show up in the fourth quarter. I definitely believe that our depth, on both sides of the ball, specifically on the defensive front, was a big key to this game in the second half.
You mentioned at halftime you want to be more committed to the run. In the second half you were.
Yeah, I think the first half it was kind of messy, and I think there was a few times where we were just like inches away from hooking up on a big play. We had Wadley on a post, we were just a little bit off there. We had another ball down the middle to Nick Dotson, we're just behind him, so it was just like there was some explosive plays that we missed in the first half that were kind of frustrating. But I think we did a really good job the second half, just kind of committed it to giving our backs, and they started feeling it. I think the draw play to Shantez was huge. I think that might have, we really hit some really key runs off the draws, and that's going to, matches up with our 5-step pass, and so that was good. And then I think the other thing is you got both backs out in space, like you mentioned on the swing pass too. So our backs weren't just limited to carrying the ball; they got them out on the edges too, and that was critical for them. And breaking some, I thought both backs really broke a lot of tackles and had some really really physical runs, specifically in the second half.
Isaiah, you guys held the Indy offense to 109 yards passing, and 16 of those came in the last drive from the backup quarterback. How important is it when your secondary is locking down guys like that for the front seven?
I mean, it's all trust. Our coach says we don't recruit people to play zone. We play man. We do that a lot just so that we can have 7 guys in the box and fit the run. So I mean, it's just a lot of trust between the whole defense. That's what our defense is based off of, trust. Knowing that the person next to you is going to make the play if it's in their gap, the corner's going to make the play if it's a pass. You get after the quarterback, you rush him, he's not as accurate. So, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Sean, talk a little bit about that last drive, 11 plays, 96 yards, virtually all of it on the ground. Talk about the mentality of that offense, just grinding it out.
The last drive coming out of halftime?
No, to end the game. You're up 23-7. You get the ball on the 4-yard line. Virtually all run plays. Oh,
yeah. Coming out with that first draw, and then the offense's entire mindset the whole second half was just to dominate. We seen that our offensive line was really getting on them. We seen that they was dominating, so we just started really just calling a lot of runs, and we got into the rhythm. It was hard to stop, so
And last question for me, at least, Sean says, and Coach, what kind of potential do you think this offense has when you've got Shantez and Jack running the way they did tonight, Bart Williams at quarterback, and guys like Austin Parody pulling down jump balls like he was?
We've been saying in camp the only people who can stop Grand Valley's offense is Grand Valley. If we execute the plays, we should be able to put up a lot of points.
Yeah, I think we feel really good about our top 12, 13 players. And I think what's really exciting probably for us as coaches and players is there's some guys that were in reserve roles and missed some time at camp for various reasons, and I think that we can start getting some of those guys in some games and start getting them to develop throughout the course of the season. We can have even more depth, both at wide receiver and obviously the offensive line too. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully we came out of this thing pretty injury free and can. It's nice to have a little bit of break now. We got 9 days before we have to head to Mississippi, so get some guys healed up and attack the next game.